Hello, friends, and welcome to the U-Turn podcast. This is your host, Ashley Stahl. I'm a career expert, a speaker, a best-selling author of the book U-Turn. Get unstuck, discover your direction, design your dream career. And I created the U-Turn book and the podcast as a place to help you connect to who you truly are at your core. And that's why every single week, I want to bring a guest on with the intention of helping you expand what's possible for you, both in your confidence, whether it's in work or love, and just in life in general. So let's get into this week's episode.
What's up, U-Turners? My name is Nicole Nowparvar, and Ashley Stahl is one of my very best friends who's asked me to come on today and speak a little bit about people pleasing. And so I've been noticing this a lot in my practice as a therapist and life coach, that a client will come in and they'll say, I'm constantly concerned about how other people are perceiving me. I'm angry at my parents for telling me that I should behave a certain way that I don't really want to, or that they feel like they are just in conflict with how they want to live their life. They feel caged in how they want to live their life compared to what society or their larger culture might be suggesting that they do or value or believe in. And so one of the things that I've really helped my clients kind of focus on in order to step out of some of this people pleasing is to create a list. And I invite you to do the same now as well. And you're welcome to pause this as we go along. But I'd like to talk about a few different categories where I notice people pleasing happens the most. And I recently also found a great resource on this if this is something that you want to go deeper on. The book is called Not Nice by Aziz Gazipura. And he also talks a lot about people pleasing and empaths and people who are just finding themselves feeling sort of caged in their life or feeling out of alignment in their life due to wanting to make sure that other people are okay and that their own reputation is also being managed in a way that makes them feel safe and makes them feel a sense of fitting in. So a few categories that I'd like to focus on where people pleasing might come up, and typically this can look like being quiet, being burnt out, being resentful, being angry, and then that can sometimes lead into more serious symptoms like back pain or nausea or panic attacks or headaches that can manifest in the body as ways to get our attention when we are in people pleasing or when we are in some of these feelings of sadness or resentment or just out of alignment. And so some of the areas that this typically shows up in, that people pleasing typically shows up in, is in family, in friendship, in self-care or in your health, in sex, in conversation, romantically, and in work. So I'd like for you to write down these categories, and under each title, so let's start with family, for example, I'd like for you to write down all of the shoulds that you put on yourself, all of the rules that you have taken on that unconsciously or subconsciously are running the show in your life, but may not necessarily be serving you at this point in your life anymore. And so some of the shoulds I see with family are, I should always be available. I should make sure that I am fulfilling all of the things that my parents want for me. I should make my parents proud. I should be understanding and respectful towards my parents. And some of these shoulds you might see that you still want to keep. Like, I should speak to my family regularly, or I should firmly and kindly let my family know when something is bothering me. So I'd like for you to just take a moment and write down what are some of the shoulds that you have with your family.
Hey, U-turn friend, are you ready to enjoy a calm moment with something really nourishing? I have something for you, and it's Gold Power by Organifi. The golden powder tastes like a cozy moment in and of itself. It's cinnamony, it's comforting, and it's packed with good ingredients like turmeric, ginger, reishi mushroom, lemon balm, and prebiotics. As soon as the afternoon slump hits, instead of letting myself have yet another cup of coffee, I try to pour this gold powder into my favorite hot nut milk. It's simply divine. It makes my sweet tooth so happy, and its superfood blends just make it easy to add more variety and nutrition into my day. If you'd like to give gold powder a try, I cannot recommend it enough. Just head on over to Organifi.com/U-turn and make sure to use the code U-turn at checkout for 20% off. That's Organifi.com/YOUTURN and use the code U-turn for checkout.
And when you're ready, I'd like for you to move on to the next category of friendship and write down some of the shoulds around friendship. Maybe that I always need to be available to my friends. I always need to be loyal to my friends. I always need to be interested in what my friends have to say and make sure I help them solve their problems. I should always be down to do what my friends want to do. I should have a certain group of friends or different kinds of friends for different things. The next category I'd like for you to then keep going down this list, like I had mentioned, is conversation. So typically what happens a lot with people pleasers is that they tend to censor themselves in conversation because they have this constant mind chatter of what it is that they think they should be doing or saying or not saying in conversation. And so some of the rules that I've found with conversation are I should be interested in what the other person is saying. I should never change the subject. I should always be smiling in conversation. I should always be engaging in conversation. I should always talk about what other people want to talk about in conversation. I should never share my opinion or something controversial. And so again, I'd like for you to just take a moment and write down what are some of the shoulds that you have in that category. Some of the other categories I mentioned were health, work, romantic, and you're welcome to add other categories as well that you see fit in your life. Once you've written down all of your shoulds, I'd like for you to go down this list and have it typed out. I think it would be easier, or you can have it as a note on your phone. And I'd like for you to look at which of these shoulds you should change or you can change to I prefer or I aspire to instead of I should. And this might take some of the pressure off of what you're experiencing and feeling. It can help reprioritize what you think is important in a relationship and what is not. There are some that you can fully delete, and there are some that you can tweak. And this exercise, I hope, will liberate you. It will act as a tool to align you more with what it is that you truly want or who it is that you truly want to be. And I have plenty of other tools on how to step more into yourself, how to liberate yourself, and how to create more authentic relationships that are not based in any kind of roles or fears or scarcity. I hope you enjoyed this activity, and if you'd like to learn more about me, you can DM me on Instagram at Therapy by Nicole, and I hope to talk to you soon. Tell me what you thought of the exercise.
Thank you so much for tuning into the U-Turn podcast. And thank you again so much for our sponsors. We are here because of you. And to our listeners, thank you for checking out our sponsors. We always pick people and brands that we trust and we believe in. And just for listening to the show, writing your reviews on the Apple app, and just being willing to make your own U-turns. We'll see you next week.